All right. So we've all read the news. We all see this every day. We all get the emails from across the company saying, "Oh, we're bringing in a new solution." Probably a lot of people, probably millions of people, have seen this morning Elon Musk and Sam Altman taking pot shots at each other on Twitter, like they think they're Kendrick and Drake. Uh, but no one's answering the real questions, right? Which is AI coming for your customer service job, for your support job? And if it is, what can you do about it? What are you going to do next? Well, let's find out. So why should you listen to me? Well, my name is Nico. I have a company called Deltastring, Deltastring.com, and what we do is we come into enterprise clients. We've worked with companies you've heard of, things you've bought, websites you've been on, and what we do is we come in and we sort out the problems they're having with their customer service software. So maybe if you use Zendesk, Zendesk is what I focus on personally. Then we make sure that we can migrate teams, build out integrations, applications, and increasingly create AI solutions or implement AI solutions so that your end customers sometimes are speaking to a computer before they speak to a human. And more companies are saying, well, why do we need humans altogether? Klarna reduced their workforce by about 700 people, and they did this through implementing AI solutions. And they were very proud of it. They boasted about it because they feel it's going to save them a lot of money and kind of future-proof the company. And ultimately, customer support, doing kind of hands-on, sending emails, replying to live chats with human beings, is a job that's going to go the way of people who had a horse and cart and found they lost their jobs when cars came along. These jobs have been out evolved, right? Technology is there to reduce the things that humans need to do. And like the washing machine meant that we didn't have to manually scrub clothes. Ultimately, these AI solutions are going to mean that when somebody contacts a company and says, I'm having a problem with this product or this service, they are not going to get through to a human unless they really have to, because it's just going to be much more affordable for these companies and much more effective and efficient to direct you to a machine. But we cannot prevent customer service jobs disappearing in the face of technology in the same way that every other industry that's previously existed. Many thousands of jobs that people would have seen as careers for life have now disappeared. And you can see another job this is happening to right now, and that would be a taxi driver. Taxi drivers are going to be replaced by automated vehicles. That's going to happen a little bit slower than replacing customer support teams with software. But it's going to happen over time, and those jobs will just no longer exist. And it might previously have been seen as a good career, a good long-term prospect for paying your bills and feeding your family. And the thing that people need to do in those situations is evolve. Say, what am I going to do next? What do I have that I can use going forwards? Now, I think the majority of companies are not going to do the drastic step that Klarna did and make many people redundant, but they're going to stop hiring for more support people, and they're going to let natural churn reduce those numbers over time, and then they're going to reevaluate how all those processes work. So those teams won't exist in the form that they do now, and that's going to happen over the next sort of 6 months to 18 months. In some slow-moving companies or where the industry is more regulated, it will take a little longer. I'm going to do another video talking through why the way companies work means this is going to have to be the case. The way business works means that these jobs are going to change very rapidly. But for now, I just want it to be taken as read that these jobs are changing. A lot of them are going to disappear. And a good thing to be doing if you are working as a customer support agent, in Zendesk or a similar package right now, is looking at what skills do I have that are going to mean that I can make a move maybe sideways but also upwards, right? A diagonal move, like a bishop. Let's look at what we can do to change our future rather than try and hold back the tide, which is not going to be achievable for people in this case. And your objective right now should be to be prepared for a move in a different direction. And there are a number of things you should be doing this week, right now, today, to achieve that. These skills that you develop in working with customers is very, very hard. And the only way to be an effective, customer service agent is to be incredibly efficient, but also have these strong powers of empathy and being able to find resolutions, have a good knowledge of the product. And a good thing to do now would be to take stock of the things that you do day to day that are assets to you, that are powerful things that you can do that could potentially lead you to a different role, ideally within the company you're already in. Now, the one thing that these AI systems all need is they need content, they need data, they need to understand your processes, they need to know everything around your product and things like that. And at the moment, when they're born, they know nothing at all. When you first switch on these implementations, they know nothing at all, and you've got to feed it all of the data that you have. So if you're someone who makes very good notes, if you're someone who is very organized and can note down processes, maybe while you're going through things, replying to emails, messages from customers, you could be making voice notes, just talking through the process of, right, we need to get the customer order number, we need to go and check the tracking number, maybe this is how you check the payment number's gone through. If you collate all of these notes and start putting together content, then this is extremely valuable to every business. And being able to do what we would call knowledge management is going to be a much bigger role over the next couple of years than it ever has been before. And the best way to be prepared to do that is to be doing that now, be providing documentation which is an asset to your colleagues, be showing the leaders of where you are that you're the person that is best placed to be picking up that, because they're going to need to ramp up the knowledge management that they already have in order to be able to even think about implementing these AI solutions and certainly to change their processes going forward. So if you're good at that, lean into that, really get going with that, and that will stand you in very good stead. Another thing that's incredibly useful to people implementing AI solutions, and this is a good kind of position to be in, is to be able to produce kind of process trees, right? So if you imagine one of these kind of decision trees, you probably drew them at school and stuff, where you have an entry point that might be customer emails in, and then we ask the customer, is it a problem with this or that? Maybe if it's a problem with the product, then we need to check the order number. If it's a problem with the logistics, we need to check the tracking number. And building out these kind of trees of the process documents right down from customer gets in touch down to the resolutions. Being able to do that is extremely valuable, and this enables you to turn a process that's probably largely explained verbally within your company into something that can be automated, that you can have machines do these parts, and then you can identify as well the points where there's efficiency to be gained. Maybe if you need to ask a customer for an order number and then you need to go and paste that into another system and get the tracking number, then connecting these systems is a very, very critical part of the infrastructure, and one that's very difficult to automate right now. So that's really the bulk of my work, is making these connections between different systems so that your people that work aren't constantly kind of alt-tabbing, Control-C, Control-V, copying and pasting stuff all day long for their job. Instead, these systems are connected, can talk to each other, and then you can take the person out of the process and automate that. It's better outcomes for the customer, it's more cost effective for the business. It's a really important thing to be able to do, and if you can do that, and if you kind of think in the way of processes and flowcharts and you can build those out, you'll be very valuable. And again, the thing to be doing here is to be understanding how to use software packages around it, like Lucid, Visio, building up these things and producing these documents, maybe offering to help out colleagues, help out with training, and there's many opportunities off the back of being able to do this. So I would strongly recommend, if this is a thing that sounds like something you could really focus on it. Additionally, in support, a lot of what we do is around making sure the customers are happy with the resolution, and there can be some negotiation towards the resolution everyone's happy with, and some people have this gift, some people do not. And if you are someone who is very good at building that empathy, building that rapport with the customer rapidly and leading them towards the resolution, which is positive for everyone involved, and by everyone involved I mean the company you work at, then people are going to be very happy with that, and that's going to lead to a different type of career, which is over in sort of the sales organization, though it's not directly sales, and this would be a success manager or an account manager that deals in customer success specifically. Now, the thing about doing customer success is you need to understand the needs of the customer and the problems that they have and be able to turn those into opportunities for your business, which means you can lead sort of product design and say, look, everyone's asking if it can do this, putting forward those feature requests, but also being able to find good use cases and build out situations for your customers where they are getting good value from your products. If you are someone who finds that straightforward to do, then you need to be looking towards customer success roles. Again, this is going to be a thing that's very difficult to automate because it really leans on, for these larger accounts, it really leans on having that empathy, having that rapport. And I've known some fantastic customer success managers that have come from support backgrounds. And what they are doing is they're finding great outcomes for their accounts. They're achieving a lot of sort of further sales for their business, and they're making loads of cash and have a very secure job. If that sounds like you, I would look to how can you get experience doing that. Maybe can you shadow people who are doing that kind of work? Can you look around for opportunities to move into customer success? I think a lot of support people would be very, very good in customer success if only they knew kind of routes to get there. Another role that many people who work in service and support can transition into in a straightforward way is data-based roles. That would be building out reports, understanding the information around it and being able to have that kind of perspective on things like that. And this can lead to opportunities that we would call sort of support QA, which means you're doing reports on the performance of the support organization. And QA hasn't ceased to exist because AI has come along. In fact, AI requires a lot of QA work to ensure that it's doing everything properly. So reporting on what is happening within the support organization is very critical and can also then lead to transitioning across to other parts of the business very easily. So if you understand sort of statistics and how to ask a question and what the numbers around things mean, then I would recommend start off learning things like Zendesk Explore, but really focusing on Power BI and similar sort of packages where you can be pulling data, understanding the numbers, and finding ways of asking questions that might not be straightforward to explain otherwise. An example of this is when maybe you need to understand a metric that is hard to measure, but you find something that is sort of correlated with it or is a different method of asking the same question, right? Companies often need to know when someone gets in touch with a problem, was their problem resolved? Did we find a solution? Are they now able to use the product service to its full? Are they achieving what they wanted to from it? Because this enables you to identify where a customer might churn, i.e. they might not buy from you again, they might cancel the service, the subscription, whatever it is. And being able to resolve this can save the company a lot of money. Well, being able to identify that can be very difficult because often these customers that are having these problems, they don't like to self-report. Instead, a good kind of metric for measuring this would be how many customers get back in touch within a week, 2 weeks, how many of them ask questions related to the same product that the previous query was about, how many of them are maybe reopening that case and emailing in on the same thread, a week or two later. You need to look at kind of the things that surround the query and like maybe are there other ways of asking this? Is there another way of getting this data? If this feels straightforward to you, then that's going to be a great direction to go in. Another option very dear to my heart is to instead be the person that builds these automations, that connects the integrations, that means that these AI products are connected to your systems that you're using. If you can be the person that makes the AI work, then you are as critical as the AI. When they go all in on the AI, there's no question that your role is going to be very crucial here. If you can put together systems, if you can test solutions and make sure that you understand all the things around it, then this is a very useful place to be. If you're someone who at home has a lot of software projects on the go, maybe you have a couple of Raspberry Pis in a drawer that you use for different things, maybe you've got your own server running in the cupboard somewhere doing something interesting, maybe you've automated all the lights around your house, maybe you've built a phone app or something as a bit of a hobby, right? Then this is going to be the direction you would want to go in, because implementing the AI is good business, and understanding these packages is going to be really critical for the future of every company. And so that's the direction I've gone in. If that sounds appealing to you, then you can get in touch with me personally, and I'm happy to talk you through kind of how I got to where I am from probably where you are now. And it's been an interesting journey, and I'll tell you more about that some other time. And I hope that's useful. I hope that gives you a good kind of picture of the things around AI, what it means for people who work in support, and where you should be looking to go in the future. Good luck.